Hello again. So, I've got a bit of a rant. This came up yesterday. Actually this morning, if you really want to get down to it. I was doing some free for all or not. I was doing some Corporal Beast with a public group. It's French Chad doing coin share, loot share, whatever. It was loot share or coin share rather. I didn't really care for the money, really. I just did it for fun. Uh, and I was doing it for about, I want to say, 8 hours. About 8 hours. I was doing Corporal Beast, Corporeal. I know it's sounding like I'm saying corporal, but I'm really stingy with my pronunciation. I'm like that. I'm one of those people. But anyway, about 7 hours into it, I'm I'm getting kind of tired. And I'm thinking, well, I might as well stick it out for another hour. Should get a sigil. So I do. I regret it. Because one of the chat mods came on, and I make a joke. I make a joke to one of the people who are leaving, and now let me explain something. Every friends chat or even clans chat, hell, every community has its own set of rules. Some rules, no matter how basic, differ from one another. Now, this one chat apparently has a strict rule against making fake calls. Now, I jokingly make a fake call to the person who just left. They are not even outside of the room, and I make the call. I say OMG Divine, and they're still on the screen running out. And quickly, to avoid confusion, because some people need that some people need that reinforcement to differentiate, easy to confuse, like this one person. I say, oh wait, you're still in the room, never mind. Now, that looks like a joke, doesn't it? I think it does. But in the end, I get told, don't make fake calls. Okay. Well, on the official forums for this group, they do not have a rule saying do not make fake calls. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. How? This isn't a rule. It's not on the rules. How is this a rule? Oh, because I said so. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so if it's a rule, then how come it's not on the rules list? I'm asking him this. He doesn't even, he doesn't say anything. He just says, don't do it. So this is kind of annoying me. I'm thinking, okay, so it's a rule, but it's not on the rules list, but it's a rule that everyone should know, according to him, even called a common sense, which is extremely ironic. If it's a rule, And everyone knows this. If it's supposed to be, this real big, it's like war bands. You don't disrupt the beam. Everyone should know this. If it's a big rule like that, then why is it on the rule list? Now, of course, I don't ask them quite so specifically. It's more like, if it's a rule and you say it's a rule, but it's not on the list, then why is it not on the list? Generally, if it's a rule and it's like a really big enforced rule, you would have it on a rule list. Do not make fake calls. Alright. Now, the reason why I'm making such a big issue out of this isn't because I got in trouble. Oh, man. I actually really didn't care. I even said after I got kicked for a couple other reasons, because this mod just so happened to be a complete douche. I'll get to why in a bit. If somebody came in and made a fake call, they would get a strike for absolutely no reason, because they did not know the rule. Because it's not in the rule list. Do you find that to be a little weird? Let's just say somebody new to the game, they don't really know the rules of PVM. Apparently, this is like the golden rule. Everyone should know it. I've been in French chats that didn't care when it happened. Hell, for the first 7 hours, nobody cared. If it's this big rule, then why isn't it on the list? That's what I kept on asking them. And it's like, okay, well, apparently you just don't like fake calls. You don't like being confused. I didn't say that because I didn't want to be offensive to them. Because God knows how many people get offended over the stupidest things. And anyway, I got a strike for asking questions. I got a I got a warning, not a strike, for making a fake call. Because I'm like, yeah, I was just making a joke. I wasn't making a fake call, I was just making a joke. And he warned me. So he was being lenient. Then I started asking questions. I started being sarcastic. And then he gave me a strike. So he gave me a strike for asking questions. I don't get, is there supposed to be a punchline? I don't understand. Okay, so this guy has a huge stick up his ass. He comes to court, does absolutely nothing aside from enforcing a couple rules. Now, here's where he goes from a dipshit to a gigantic douchebag. So, apparently you are not allowed dragon boots. So, some people were wearing rune boots because they didn't want to lose too much. Now, I can understand that. It's not like dragon boots give offensive bonuses, and it's not like they give huge bonuses. Some people can't... Not everyone can wear Ganodermic boots, because for the first couple of years, I didn't even have 80 magic. So, there's that. But anyway, he asks this person to change their boots, which I have no idea. Um, I have no problems with it at all, naturally, because, well, there are requirements. I met them. And, he's just enforcing them. Okay. But for the entire 8 hours I was in that chat, nobody, well, very, very, very seldomly, we used the French chat. And it was usually me. I was, the only one really talking in the French chat. I mean, there's a lot of chatter outside of it in the dungeon, but aside from that, there's no chatter in the French chat. So he is talking in the French chat, warning this one player. Now, this is what bugs me. He gave this one player 3 strikes for ignoring this one player. He gave this player 3 strikes for ignoring him, when oftentimes, whenever I'm slaying or doing something that I'd much rather pay attention to the public chat than anything else, I would click on public chat. Or I'd click on clan chat. Now that filters out everything else. I'm not paying attention to French chat because everything's happening in public. And sometimes, whenever I'm attacking, my public chat gets flooded out with "you do not have a target" or something else. So, I'd rather have public chat on. I'm not paying attention to French chat. So, even then, that would be kind of, it's dickish on my part for singling him out like that. But he's giving this player continuous strikes. The whole 3 strikes you're out thing. He's giving this player continuous strikes for not wearing boots that are high enough level. The difference between level 60 and 70, as far as boots go, isn't that big. It's like now it was a laggy night. A lot of people died. And this person, or this moderator, wasn't even addressing him in public chat. It was in French chat. And was not doing anything to help out the group. And wasn't even following the player to say, hey, pay attention. He was doing nothing right. But either way, this player gets 3 strikes, doesn't get kicked because he noticed just in time. And so, this is where he starts becoming a douchebag. I later run out of food, and I'm using Soul Split and conserving my attacks so I don't draw aggro. I end up thinking, well, he's almost dead. If I use this attack, I'll gain aggro, but he'll be dead by then, so it doesn't matter. Turns out I die anyway, and it's like, well, shit. I get a strike for leeching because I died. There was no possible way you could spin that to make it look like I had been leeching. But he found a way anyway. I ask, Okay, how do you think I was leeching? You died. You weren't eating and you weren't paying attention. It's like, excuse me? I was attacking. I was using abilities. I had no food. I even switched prayers for fuck's sakes. If you're too damn blind, you can notice the difference between Soul Split and Protect from missiles or Protect from magic. So there's that part. And then here comes the biggest fucking the biggest goof of all. So there is another hidden rule apparently in this chat. You have to be potted, you have to be buffed the entire time you're in the room. I was using overloads on my main. Those last for 5 minutes. And in between kills, there's about a 30-second spawn time at the time. In between kills, my potions would occasionally run out. And I would let them sit there. Because why should I waste a minute of my potion? Because they don't normally last more than 3 kills. It may be a little bit more than a minute, or maybe a little bit less, I don't know. But anyway, why should I waste a minute of my potions just because of some... It doesn't even make sense. And again, it's not on the rule list. It makes no fucking sense. 2 rules that aren't on the list, that aren't even... There aren't reminders. And I even say, I repot before the kill, or before Corporal Beast even respawns, for fuck's sakes. Oh, doesn't matter. You were unpotted. And it's like, oh my god, you're a fucking idiot. I didn't care. The same philosophy that I have when it comes to deaths in video games carries over to me being punished. I don't care that I get punished. It's just, what are the reasons for? I didn't follow 2 rules that weren't enforced, that weren't on the list, that weren't even mentioned. And I got another infraction for a rule that I wasn't even breaking. Because the moderator there is ludicrously and fucking competent. And oh my god. It's times like this I wish I could travel through the internet and strangle the motherfucker. But, oh well. Oh well. Stupidity is a very powerful thing. I'm usually very well reserved, but that really got to me. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't you make a lot of rant videos? Yeah, I do. But anyway, I had to get that out of my chest because doing it through text did not work. Thank you for listening. And I'm going to throw in a little thing. This chat that I was talking about is called Corp for Life. It's all one word, but the individual words are all capitalized. So it'd be Corp for life, but it's all without spaces. And the words are capitalized. The mod was named Yo No More or something. Total douchebag. Do not, if you use that chat, do not, and I repeat, do fucking not do Corporal Beast in that chat when he's online. Ruins everything. He is entirely too damn stupid to. It's not because I'm pissed off at him. It's because, oh my god.